Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, located in a quiet suburb of Chicago, Illinois, United States, hidden beneath the shade of ancient trees, lies the mysterious Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, a place steeped in history, legend, and a touch of the supernatural. Dubbed one of the most haunted cemeteries in the United States, Bachelor's Grove has captured the imagination of paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters alike. A small cemetery in the southwest suburb of Chicago, this small cemetery is one of the most haunted cemeteries in the country. Set in a quiet wooded suburban area, many believe that this old cemetery is the most haunted place in the region. To visit Bachelor's Grove, you can take the main route from Highway 151 along a dirt road surrounded by dense forest on both sides until you reach an old road blocked by chains and concrete posts. There, you will see a sign that says "No trespassing." After walking for about half a mile, you will find Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, hidden amidst a large forest. Originally, this cemetery served as a burial ground for the British. The settlers in America in 1833, it was once called Everton Cemetery after the owner of this land named Samuel Everton was buried in this place as the first body. After that, this cemetery changed its name several times until it was known as Bachelor's Grove as it is today. The last body buried in this cemetery is believed to be Laura M. McGee in 1965 and Robert E. Shields, who was cremated, and the ashes were collected with the family in the cemetery in 1989. After that, there were no new burials in this cemetery for decades. But it seems that it did not reduce the degree of haunting of the ghosts. Previously, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery was a famous place for young people to make love. But after the nearby road was closed, this cemetery became a lonely place. With the rapid deterioration of time, along with the rumors of strange things that started to happen more and more. In the 1960s, the loneliness of the place caused a lot of damage to the cemetery. It was destroyed by a group of teenagers who sprayed paint. The gravestones were erased. The graves were opened to find valuables. Bones in the cemetery are sometimes found scattered everywhere. In addition, a small lake next to the cemetery has been used to find murdered bodies and illegal firearms. Many people believe that disturbing the cemetery without a shred of respect is what causes the ghostly phenomenon. However, many people claim that the whole thing is caused by black magic rituals. Because the patrol team of forest rangers found satanic ritual equipment in the area, such as the bodies of chickens and small animals that were killed, as well as carvings of witchcraft symbols on graves and trees around the cemetery. Soon after, the villagers living near the cemetery began to notice the abnormality of the place. There are more than 100 reports of mysterious phenomena at the cemetery. The most common reports are related to glowing blue balls the size of baseballs floating above the graves and stories of the spirit of a two-headed monster that appears randomly in many areas. On the dirt road leading to the cemetery, there is also the mystery of the haunted farm that often appears and disappears regardless of the time of day or night. But one thing is for sure, there has never been a report of a house on this road before. However, the description of the house from the accounts of those who have seen it varies. Some claim that it is an old two-story white farmhouse with a wooden front porch and a warm glow coming through the windows. Rumor has it that several curious people have entered the house, and of course, never returned. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery dates back to the mid-19th century. It began as a small burial ground for local farmers and their families. Over the years, it has grown into a final resting place for a variety of people, from veterans to infants. The cemetery's history is intertwined with tragedies, including accidents, murders, and even reports of mysterious activity. Bachelor's Grove has gained notoriety for its many spooky apparitions and unexplained phenomena. One of the most famous is the White Lady, a mysterious figure who is often seen wandering the cemetery, dressed in flowing white clothing. Some believe she is searching for a missing child, while others speculate about a tragic love story that ties her to the ground. Visitors to the cemetery have reported seeing orbs of light, emitting sounds, and strange fog that appears to appear and disappear without warning. It is also said that electronic devices are malfunctioning, producing unusual readings and unexplained anomalies. The atmosphere at Bachelor's Grove seems to enhance the supernatural powers, creating an environment that fuels the terrifying legend. The only consistent story from eyewitnesses who have seen the house is that as you get closer, the house gradually shrinks until it disappears into the woods. No one has ever seen the house in the same spot. It has changed locations from the side of a new road to a cemetery. The road also has strange stories of a ghost fire that most people see as a red light, similar to a traffic light, flying around. The road quickly cuts through the forest along the edge of the cemetery. In the late 1970s, two forest rangers patrolling near the cemetery reported that the headlights of their car showed them a horse emerging from the lake behind the cemetery. The horse was pulling what looked like a plow, with a farmer behind it. The two figures crossed in front of the car before disappearing into the forest on the other side. The two rangers stared at each other to make sure they were seeing the same thing, but neither dared to report the incident to their superiors for fear of being ridiculed by their colleagues. After that, there were several reports of sightings of the old man and the horse. This strange event is likely related to an accident in 1870 when a farmer was plowing by the lake when his beloved horse suddenly became startled and ran into the lake. The unfortunate farmer was tangled in the plow rope and could not untie it. After struggling for a long time, he was finally crushed by the weight of the horse and plow and drowned. The plow marks and bloodstains from the incident are still visible today. And it may be the origin of the ghost of an old man and a horse that people often see. In 1975, a ghost enthusiast from the southern states visited the cemetery. While walking near the cemetery in the afternoon, he took a Kodak SX70 camera by himself without pressing the shutter. Many of the pictures taken looked like white fog. Some of the fog looked like humans. When the camera was returned for insurance, the technician guaranteed that all equipment was in perfect condition and could be used normally. Adjacent to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, there was once a small abandoned house, which added to the mystery of the place. Legend has it that the house would mysteriously disappear and reappear, confusing those who seek the elusive apparition. Over the years, the house deteriorated and eventually collapsed, but the story of its disappearance remains. Bachelor's Grove has become a focus for paranormal investigators, attracting teams from around the world eager to investigate its haunted reputation. Countless photographs, audio recordings, and personal testimonies claim to capture evidence of paranormal activity, making the cemetery a fascinating hotbed of paranormal activity. Despite its haunted reputation, Bachelor's Grove Cemetery has faced challenges, including vandalism and neglect. Efforts are underway to preserve the historic site and protect it from further damage. The cemetery remains closed to the public to prevent trespassing, but the eerie tales of the cemetery continue to draw in those fascinated by the mysteries of the afterlife. As the sun sets over the crumbling gravestones of Bachelor's Grove, casting long shadows beneath the ancient trees, whispers of the past resurface. Whether skeptical or devout, the eerie legend of Bachelor's Grove continues, inviting curious souls to explore the mysterious remains of its sacred grounds. In 1997, even the new road near Bachelor's Grove itself was rife with tales of a ghostly apparition that often roamed the road in the form of a haunted car. Many have seen the car over the years. Those traveling westbound on this road at night often see the taillights of a car in front of them, but without any indication of stopping or turning, the car suddenly pulls off the road before disappearing. There have also been several reports of people seeing a haunted car following behind them, then suddenly disappearing like a puff of smoke. As for the haunted car phenomenon, no historical expert has been able to find evidence to support the cause of this. In 1984, witnesses reported seeing a large number of spirits dressed as priests in the cemetery. Many people saw these spirits walking across the cemetery road from the edge of the woods to the cemetery. In addition, Carol Williams and his girlfriend heard strange noises in the bushes that sounded like something was following them. They also saw a strange white light appear near the grave of Hamilton. Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, despite being known as one of the most haunted places in the United States, many ghost hunters say it is the most haunted cemetery in the world, should still be a quiet place that should be treated with respect so that the deceased who have died here can rest in their final moments.